Hello, I'm Gabe. This is my survival world, and today we are going to collect every single music disc in the game. Which is why I've got this thing right here. 2 skeletons trapped in a boat shooting at me, and hopefully we can get some creepers to follow me through these stairs, fall into this water right here where they'll get shot, and all their items will end up in that barrel. But in order to collect all the music discs, we can't unfortunately get all of them just from creepers. We've got to do a trial chamber, go to a deep dark, and even use some Minecraft mechanics that I've never actually done before. Just to demonstrate, we have a creeper over here, and he's upside down because I didn't want him to despawn. And the reason there are these trapdoors on here is because creepers are short enough to go under this, but zombies and skeletons aren't. So all we gotta do is lead the creeper over here, and he'll fall into the water stream, and then hopefully get shot. Alright, he's dead. This contraption, I think we should actually try and build up a build here, because we need, oh, that's a creeper hole. We need to actually make this world look good and not just weird. So while we're waiting for it to be nighttime, I've just grabbed a bunch of random materials, and we're gonna see what I can build with just these materials. And I'm gonna challenge myself to not go back and get any more materials. Whatever we can build with this stuff is what's going to come out. Yeah, also this happened.
No!
Oh my god, okay, we have a chance to get another music disc. It's the newest one. Okay, let's see if we can kill this zombie without killing the chicken. And there it is. From the Minecraft movie, the newest music disc. I gotta play this. Okay, that's enough of that. And that concludes day 1. Let's see what we've got. Okay. That is a good amount. That's 8 of the 12 music discs that we can get from creepers, but now it's daytime. Let's keep building. Who knows if this will turn out any good. That's a lot of music discs. Got 13 and 11. Cat, blocks, and chirp bar. We've got mall, stall, and Malohi, Strad, Ward, and wait. That's 12 music discs. That should be all of them. Well, we actually managed to get this done in 2 nights. But now we gotta finish this build. And yeah, so the problem with building with just random blocks in your inventory is that it's kind of hard when you start running out of blocks, and then you kind of start using random blocks, and the build kind of deteriorated into, I just want to get this over with. So let's cover this build up and not talk about it ever again. I still would recommend the strategy of grabbing an inventory of blocks and just placing them all down till you get something. I mean, this only took, what, half an hour? And we added something to the Minecraft world, which, that can be hard sometimes. But now that we've collected 13 of the 19 music discs, why do I actually want these? Of course, they're nice to have, but I also need to make an enchanting room, and I thought it would be nice to listen to some music while I finally got some good gear. And why do I need good gear? Well, because I died again. Let's go back a couple days. Alright, here we are in the end, and what you see behind me is a bunch of obsidian pillars that I don't want to be here, so I decided to dig all of them up. However, as you can see by the progress, we did not get very far. You see, I had a genius plan to go down to the bottom of the world and place some blocks like so, and that way when I mined down, I could stand on the edge of a block like this and just hold down mouse 1 and go AFK, and then as I dug down, eventually I'd reach the bottom and I'd be standing on the block next to the one I was digging, and I could just sit here AFK. But that obviously didn't go very well. At first things were going quite well. I mined down and then I could just fly back up, and as you see, everything worked well. But as you see, there is an entity that I did not account for in the shape of an Enderman. And this time, he didn't get me, but I also didn't really think much of him. And so the next time I dug down, they pushed me off, and I died. That was a one-time thing. As you see, I put a light down here, but that didn't stop me from my own stupidity. And yeah, that one's on me. Next, I realized I was completely out of elytras, so I had to go end busting once again. And to get to the end, I completely forgot about the end gateways, and so I made a flying machine to try and fly all the way out to the end islands. While I was waiting for that, I attended a very important business meeting, and eventually I spotted a pirate ship. Would you look at that? We got an end ship. There's not really any safe way to get off this machine or stop it right now. I guess we could spam blocks, but I've got a different solution. Uh-oh, that didn't work. Oh. Yeah, okay. I messed up. I really thought that was gonna work. The big mistake there was taking an entire stack of observers and sticky pistons. Alright, this time should go a lot smoother. It did not. Don't worry, third time's a charm. Got a water bucket this time. I don't know if I have enough blocks, which is a little concerning. I've got to use observers. Oh boy. Oh gosh, okay. We still might not have enough. Oh my god. Wow, that was really close. Alright. There we go. Ooh, and some diamonds. Don't mind if I do. But now that we have one pair of elytra, it should be fairly simple to find some more. Oh boy. Okay. Look, that was close. That was close. All right, back home. All of that because I wanted to mine an obsidian pillar. Yeah, we'll continue that obsidian pillar project at a later date. But the important thing to note here is that I died, and trying to get re-geared was kind of hard because I don't actually have an enchanting table. But more on that later. We've got more music discs to find. So let's head on over to the nearest village. All right, and for our next music disc, we need this guy. Bert. I have a mod that names all the villagers. I think it's pretty funny. But anyway, we're looking for a trial chamber, and I'm gonna be honest, I already have looted 2 trial chambers and I've not found the music discs we're looking for. So I'm hoping we can trade with Bert. Oh, I did not bring any paper. Cool. But we got emeralds. Trading with Bert will hopefully give us a trial chamber map and lead us to a new trial chamber. And there it is, a trial chamber. I don't have a compass. I did not realize it required a compass. Alright, Bert, now if you give me the same map that I've already gotten, I will be very, very upset. Want to give a big shout out to a new mod I'm using called VoxyMod. You might have seen it in the end a little bit, but look at that render distance. Pretty great, and I like it a lot more than Distant Horizons. I just think it looks better at far distances. Alright, and more good news, it looks like this is a completely different trial chamber, although it is underwater. Shouldn't be too much of a problem. I didn't really bring anything, so hopefully I don't die. Okay, we made it to the trial chamber. I don't have a bed. I also don't really have a sword, but I have confidence we can do this. So there are 3 music boxes we can get from this place. One of them is found in the decorated pots, and that's the creator music box disc. I think the other 2 are looted from the vaults. Oh my gosh, they're everywhere. Okay. Alright, this is what we're after, these vaults. Oh my gosh, a trident. Okay, I think tridents are actually like super rare. Ominous bottle, great. Alright, we got an ominous bottle. That's gonna allow us to play the game in hard mode and then hopefully get an ominous trial key so we can get an ominous trial vault and get the creator music disc, which you can only get from the ominous vaults. Here we go. And I made this a little bit easier on myself by covering up all the other spawners, so we only have to deal with one at once. Would highly suggest doing that. And yeah, that definitely makes it easier. And of course, once you kill enough mobs, the spawner will give you some loot. And one of these loot things that can drop is a key. We didn't get it here, but the keys allow us to unlock the vaults. And I'm probably not going to show too much of me fighting all these mobs because it gets repetitive pretty fast. So we'll skip to the part where I opened the chest. Alright, got an ominous vault here, and that's not what we were looking for. Okay, so I did a lot of ominous vaults, I farmed a lot, and we got some more trial keys, as you can see. Here's one here. But yeah, the loot table was definitely not on my side. I ended up going through quite a few trials, as you'll see, but there's actually 3 different CDs that we need from the trial chambers. One of them you get from those ominous vaults, and that is the creator music disc. From a normal trial vault, which you can get without doing the ominous key, you get the precipice music disc. I ended up clearing out that first trial chamber, so we're moving to a second one. And the last one you can see we just got right here is the creator music box music disc. We finally got one of the CDs. That took forever, and there's still 2 more left to get here. And as you can hear, I was pretty tired already, but we're only a couple hours into this, maybe like an hour or two. And all I'm gonna say is the RNG was not on my side. Well, it kind of was. Okay, wow. I got a heavy core. Unfortunately though, it's not a music disc. And I think we're probably gonna have to go to a third trial chamber. You're joking. The chance of getting a creator music disc or the heavy core are the same exact odds at 7.5%, and I managed to pull 2 heavy cores in a row. Now, we're going to do a bit of a montage here because the next 4 hours of my life were pretty much just grinding these trial chambers out. I think in total I went to about 15 of them, and yeah, it was really bad. I was actually not having a good time at all, but you know, the grind has to happen, and at this point I was just too determined to quit, and so we kept going. I almost died to this creeper, and I actually did end up dying quite a few times, lost pretty much all my armor, and every single time I went into a new chamber it got harder and harder, but finally this happened. Oh my god. So that is the Precipice music disc. We now have 2 out of 3, and the only one we need now is from the Ominous Vaults. And on top of that, we kept hitting heavy cores. They're the same chances as the music disc, and you know, now we have 3 of them, which is just crazy. Here's another vault that we get nothing from, and these Ominous Vaults are super rare. In some of the trial chambers I went to, there were only like 2 or 3, and if I got lucky, there were probably 6 or 7. And every single time we just flew a bit further, traded with a new villager, got a new trial map, and then tried to find a new trial chamber. Luckily, they are pretty abundant in the world, and there's a bunch of times where I died and didn't have a spawn point anywhere near, and the run back was pretty bad. This is pretty funny. The chunks didn't load in, and I spotted a trial chamber underground, so that saved a small amount of time. And I kept getting golden apples. I think before today I had 1 golden apple, and now I have a lot. Here's another heavy core, the 4th one. But then finally, after an entire weekend of looting trial chambers, we finally got to this one. Finally. Oh my god. I've died so many times. The run back to this place is worse than any Dark Souls game. I lost all my armor, and it's become very, oh no, it's become very difficult to survive. These skeletons do so much damage. The only thing that survived is this pickaxe, basically. Well, at least we're back home. That's right, we made it back home finally, and look at all the loot we got. That means we got 15 notch apples, which is absolutely insane. On top of that, 4 heavy cores. I mean, I could even use these as like a building block now. I don't know what to do with all of them. I guess we should make a mace though. I think I'm just gonna make 1 for now because, you know, could potentially use some other ones as decoration. That would be pretty crazy. Alright, I just fly up a little bit. This should do quite a bit of damage. Nice. That cow is dead. But of course, this video isn't about killing cows, it's about these 3 things, the music discs. And let's see, there's creator, music box, and precipice. I keep forgetting I don't have feather falling. We really need to get this library done. I need some enchants. Yeah, I also found a couple more of the music box discs. I actually had more, but I put them in the sorting system, and yeah, they might never be seen again. Anyway, these 3 are now added to the collection. Only a few more left. And I know I say this a lot, but this next music disc should be easy. All we gotta do is find a bastion, and we can get ourselves pig step. I really should consider getting some armor. They're eating like notch apples. What the heck? Oh my god. That is one way to delete a notch apple, I guess. Okay, here's a disc we can get. All you have to do is return to sender, and these gas now drop music discs. Well, this one didn't actually. So apparently there is a data pack. The mob has data pack that for some reason had trouble with the music disc, so I've disabled that, and look at that, right away. Okay, yeah, because it should be 100% chance of it dropping, so yes. Bam, got another one, excellent. Now we have 2 for no reason. Next, we did a couple bastions, and there's a 5.6% chance pig step spawns in a chest, I believe. Did 2 bastions, or maybe 3, I don't know. But yeah, we went to a couple of treasures, and those are good because they have those big vault rooms with all the gold in them, and those chests down there do have a good chance of having pig step. Unfortunately, did not find any though, and almost died a couple times to these pigs. But in the end, we arrived at this bastion here. And this happened. Aha! There it is. Pig step. Alright, that wasn't bad. Only took 3 bastions, although I am far away from home. So I got a little bit of flying to do. Also gotta pick up all the dried gas on the way. Gonna make an army of happy gas. We made it back. I can't believe it. I don't think I'm using this railroad correctly. But that's okay, because we got 2 new music discs. Bang, bang. That's 18. All right, let's take a little break from that. There's 3 music discs left, but before we continue, let's do a little bit of building. So here we are at the spawn of the world, and it's kind of all over the place. This is where we started this world, and as such, we didn't really have that much stuff, and kind of just built with the stuff we had. But I thought it would be nice if we could kind of revamp this area, and we're just gonna sort of get this project started today and just build a couple chunks here at the dock of this world. And so I actually changed the spawn before we spawned like right in the center of the village, but I thought it would be nice if we could spawn on the beach, and then you would be greeted with a nice view of the Minecraft world. So I'm trying something new, which is choosing a vantage point right on the edge of this dock and kind of designing the build from this perspective. So you see I kind of dug out a little path right here, and it leads your eye towards the tower in the background. And then I think along in the foreground, we're going to have a beach, add some rocks everywhere, and kind of see where that takes us. So this is the general shape that I want the path to be in, but it's just a little bit off. And I think the only thing I can really do to get this to look the way I want is just through a lot of trial and error. So we're just going to keep digging it up and double checking it until it turns out good. All right, so we've got a little path of trampled down sand with the birch wood, and then it kind of transitions, or we need to transition, I should say, into the mud path that the rest of this build is going to be in. And so I got a little gradient, some jungle wood and some oak wood, and then transforming it into the birch wood. And hopefully that'll make a cool gradient that'll kind of connect the two. And then I think we'll make the rockiness kind of start here, where the gradient starts to turn into mud. Alright, this is the progress. It's getting a bit better. The path is getting obscured by these rocks a little bit, so I'm going to have to work on that shape a little bit. Also going to experiment with putting some moss around, a little bit more of a vibrant color, so we'll see what that does to the build. Alright, and that is the path completed. And I think it looks pretty nice. It's definitely an upgrade from what we had before, which was nothing. Yeah, here it is. One thing I did and wanted to make sure of is that there was no dirt showing, because it kind of blended in with the mud path. So by using stone and moss, we were able to make a nice contrast. You can really see the path pop. But one more thing I wanted to point out is now the seafloor is mud. And the way I did this is with this gradient that I'm pretty happy with. And having the mud floor being this really dark color kind of sells the illusion that this lake is a little bit deeper and the water is not quite as see-through as vanilla water really is. So let me know what you think about that. And also, maybe I'll make more of this mud. I'm not really too sure yet because it does take quite a while to fill the entire ocean with mud. There we go. And we also got a sign that just says this is now the pier at spawn. Alright, I hope you liked that little beach build, but unfortunately, that's all the time I have for today. And I know there's still 3 music discs left that we haven't been able to get to, but rest assured, we will be getting them in the next episode, and it's gonna be crazy. We've got to go to a deep dark, and then do a mechanic of the game that I've actually never done before, which is archaeology. And then hopefully next time, we'll finally be able to build the enchanting room. Super excited for that, so stay tuned for the next episode. But, as I said, I've got to run, so thanks everyone for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye!